Well, one day you're going to be that someone. So you have to ask yourself, can I live with that? Okay, so we talked about one of the most important questions to ask when you are choosing a mate or choosing someone to date is, what do they do with their pain, their stress, or when they're upset? What do they do with that? And we talked about a few examples, and there's 100 more, but I want to also offer, second unto that, of course, is, can I live with that? So, for example, if your partner is upset at work and they come home and they grab a glass of wine, cool, wine can relax us. At this point, health professionals say that wine is still a healthy thing to have, generally. But if they're drinking a glass of wine and then another glass of wine and then another glass of wine, and or 6 beers later, 12 beers later, and you go, okay, is this a repeating pattern? Is this something that they do? This is their go-to for dealing with stress and pain? Then you have to ask yourself, can I live with this? Now, if you're doing it too, then you're living with it together. But if this is how they choose to deal with their pain and their stress, then you have to say, hey, am I okay with that or not? In particular, kind of like I said last time, there are folks who just cannot hold or tolerate their negative emotion. And so inadvertently, they don't mean to, it's not intentional usually, unless that person was a sociopath, but they tend to put it on people around them. So if your spouse is, every time they're upset, they're constantly devaluing someone around them, whether it be their boss, their parent, their roommate, and it's always someone else is to blame. If you've been around someone else is always at fault, and you kind of go, wait a minute, every time they're upset, they put someone down. Well, one day you're going to be that someone. So you have to ask yourself, can I live with that? So in all of those areas, ask yourself, can I live with the way that their default mode, the way that they deal with their pain and stress? And if you can't, then it's a clear indication that you go, I need to move away from that relationship.